Integers. Welcome to the lesson on integers. In this lesson, you're going to learn on how to add and subtract integers. So let's begin with adding the integers. So one strategy is to use a number line, but you can use whatever strategy that suits you. So one, move to the right if adding positive integers. Number two, move to the left if adding negative integers. So these two are very important when you're adding the integers. So move to the right if adding the positive integers, move to the left if adding negative integers. For example, number one, negative 3 plus 5. So in this question, we are adding positive integer. We are adding positive 5. So we are going to move to the right of the number line. So what we do in this question, you're going to stand where we have negative 3. This is where you have negative 3. Then since we are adding positive integer, and that is 5, we are going to move 5 steps to the right. So from this negative 3, we move 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we stop at 2, and 2 becomes our solution. The second example, negative 5 plus 9. So we are adding a positive integer, therefore we are going to move to the right. So we stand in where we have negative 5. This is where we are going to begin, negative 5. We are adding positive 9, so we move 9 steps to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we stop at 4, and 4 becomes our solution. Let's go to an example where we are adding a negative integer. So when you are adding the negative integer, as you said, we move to the left. So let's look at this C. 1 plus negative 4. 1 plus negative 4. So when you're adding a negative integer, we move to the left. So what you're going to do, you're going to stand at where we have positive 1. We have positive 1. So we move 4 steps to the left because we are adding a negative integer. So we move from this point 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we stop at negative 3, and negative 3 is our solution. The last example, negative 1 plus negative 3. So we stand at negative 1. Since we are adding negative 3, that is a negative integer, we move to the left. So we're going to move 3 steps because we are adding negative 3 to the left. So from here, 1, 2, 3. So we stop at negative 4, and negative 4 is our solution. Subtracting integers. So the strategy that we use for subtracting integer is to add the opposite of the second integer to the first. I repeat, adding the opposite of the second integer to the first. Example, 5 minus 2. So when you are subtracting these, we look at the second integer. The second integer is 2. So the opposite of 2 is negative 2. So we're going to take negative 2 plus 5. Negative 2 plus 5. So let's go back to our number line. Negative 2 is here. So we add 5. So because we are adding a positive integer, we move to the right 5 steps. So from negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we stop at 3, and 3 becomes our solution. Let's go to second example, 4 minus negative 2. So when you're subtracting these, we look at the second integer. The second integer is negative 2. So we take the opposite of the second integer. The opposite of negative 2 is 2. We add it to the first integer. So we're going to take 2 plus 4. This is the same as 4 plus 2. And this one will give us 6. Example number 3, 1 minus negative 6. So when you're subtracting these, look at the second integer. The second integer is negative 6. So the opposite of negative 6 is positive 6. So in this case, you're going to take negative 6 plus the first integer. So it will be 6 plus 1, or 1 plus 6, which will give us 7. So that is how we add, how we subtract the integers. Now for several additions or subtractions, we work from the left to the right. So in case we have several additions and subtractions, we can decide to work from the left to the right. For example, 2 minus negative 8 plus negative 3. We start from the left. This is a 2 minus negative 8. So we have just looked at how we subtract these. So look at the second integer, which is negative 8. So the opposite of negative 8 is 8. So 8 plus 2, that one will give us 10. For this part, the solution is 10. 2 minus negative 8, that one is 10. Then plus negative 3. So 10 plus negative 3, when you're adding a negative integer, we move to the left. So we're going to stand at 10 in our number line. Then we move 3 steps to the left, because we are subtracting. That one will give us 10 minus 3, which is 7. So example 2, negative 4 plus 6 minus negative 3 plus negative 2. So begin from the left. So negative 4 plus 6, we've just looked on how we add. If you're adding a positive integer from here, move to the right if you're adding positive integer. So we're going to stand at, in our number line, negative 4, we add 6. So this one will give us 2. Then minus negative 3 plus negative 2. Then we take these 2 minus negative 3. We work out this. So when you're subtracting, look at the second integer. This one is negative 3. So the opposite of negative 3 is 3. So 3 plus 2 will give us 5. Then plus minus 2. Since we are adding a negative integer, we are going to move to the left. So 5, we stand at 5 on our number line. Then we move 2 steps to the left. So it will be 5 minus 2, and it will give us 3. So that is the simplified way of adding and subtracting integers.